What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys can hear me. Drop in a comment if you guys can hear me. I don't know how good the mic is on the camera. Hopefully it's pretty good. Gonna let some people get in here. All right. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about a few different turbos and everything. You guys are just tuning in. This is going to be up on, it's going to stay up on YouTube for everything. So hopefully you guys can hear me. If you have any issues, let me know now. That way we can sort it all out and everything. But anyways, we're going to get started. What's up, Tanner? How you doing? Basically, we're going to be covering your VGT turbos, your fixed vane, and then like compound setups, kind of on what I know. I am by far not an expert whatsoever, but hopefully I can cover and give you guys an idea of everything that, you know, kind of how things work and how everything's going to go down and like your options for current situations on your truck and everything like that. What's up, Rustbelt? How you doing, buddy? So like I said, not a complete turbo expert, but we're going to cover how many days do you have left that now that you're counting. I actually have 88 days left in the Marine Corps, 87 tomorrow, so I am counting. But what's up, everybody? Ooh, Rustbelt, are you getting some work done to it or what, buddy? Hopefully. Anyways, luckily enough, I have enough junk parts laying around that I can show you guys the insides of a few turbos, two different styles actually, fixed vane and a VGT turbo that I have laying around. So, and if you guys have any sort of input or any different excess boost therapy, I can't wait to see that thing's done. And if you guys aren't following Rustbelt, which I'm sure most of you are, you guys need to go check him out because he's got some crazy stuff coming soon. So along with all the guys, which are in the description below, Truckmaster, Rustbelt, Bertrand, and my boy Never Satisfied 24 Valve. He does Dodge stuff. So if you guys, that's the gang, go give them a follow and make sure you're tuning into all their videos. But anyways, to get started, I'm going to show you guys the two different style exhaust housings that are most commonly used. I know there's like a bunch of different turbos and stuff out there. They have like the electronic assisted turbos now and all that stuff. It's getting out of hand. But anyways, they're a little crusty because they may have been thrown in the bed of my truck for a while. But anyways, we're going to start with the VGT turbo. This is a stock LLY exhaust housing that I'm going to use. I don't have the rest of it in here. We're kind of covering exhaust housings today and all that stuff. So I'm going to just show you guys the exhaust housings in case you guys have never seen the inside before. And we're going to cover like how it works, how everything operates. And I be a little bit easier with the center section to show you kind of the full operation of the vanes, but we're going to make do with what we got. So this is an LOY exhaust housing, and they're not light. So we'll adjust this a little bit. What's up, Justin? How you doing, buddy? So this is your LOY exhaust housing. As you can see here, this is where it bolts in the valley of the truck. You got your three, they're usually like a 17 or a 15, I forget. Your up pipes bolt into the back here. So this sits in the valley. If this is the front of the truck, so your down pipe goes in here, your up pipes bolt here. So basically you're getting exhaust flow coming up and into the exhaust housing. That's going to spin the turbine side of the turbo. I think, yeah, compressor's the front, turbine's the back. And then your exhaust is going to come out here and go down your downpipe. So the way this works, and it's like I said, you got more parts. I'm getting filthy doing this, but basically all these little studs right here, as you can see, they're kind of right here. These are where your vanes are normally going to sit. So in a VGT turbo, you're going to have they look like little fins. I'm sorry I don't have any out for you guys, but they're going to look like little fins that basically they're, I don't even know how to perfectly, I guess fins would be the right way to describe them, but basically they all sit in here and mesh together. They kind of go just like this. And what they do is they actually move like this to close up or open the exhaust housing. So the way that's done is it uses oil pressure on a Duramax VGT turbo at least. And there's a solenoid that moves a reluctor wheel that's connected to all of them. And as it rotates, it either opens and closes them. So when the way this helps and why this was kind of a good idea is this helps control your turbine speed and your boost. So normally you won't see a VGT turbo wastegated ever. I've never seen one unless I don't think I've ever seen one. So this basically, the more open it is, the more closed it is, all that stuff, you're going to either have faster spool or more boost because it's all based off speed and how much it's spinning the shaft to push boost into the motor. So the benefits to a variable geometry turbo or variable vane exhaust or anything like that is you're going to have, well, it's all internally regulated turbo speed and boost. So you know what years they ran this style other than the LOI? This is still in use today, I believe. I don't know about the L5Ps, but from LOI and up, they all ran VGTs. LB7s were the only fixed vane chargers, or fixed geometry, whatever you want to call them. So as far as I know, still, I am pretty sure the L5Ps still have them. So all this is all great and dandy for these, but it's kind of one of the situations where you start moving, you add more moving parts, and you're gonna have more stuff that breaks. As you can see how like rusty and corroded this, obviously it's been sitting outside, but what happens is rust builds up on the surface or soot or anything, and the vanes can get stuck, and then that creates a problem right there. You'll have either really slow spool, or you'll have your truck just won't run right, or it'll be stuck closed, and then you'll have really fast spool but with no power. So all that kind of stuff. So what these are, the reason I think GM went to these and why a lot of people go to these is that the drivability is great when they work. So you have really good bottom end spool, and the ability to open up and go to create more boost and create, your peak power on the top end. I did some reading today. They said most of the time these turbos are most efficient at like 60% nozzle position, which I'm not so familiar with. But anyways, they're going to start closed. They're going to open as you build in boost and fuel and RPMs and all that stuff, which is great. That's great for towing, and that's great for basically eliminating most of your turbo lag. So another thing, I took a bunch of notes today to make sure I wasn't going all crazy and stuff, but what I think personally happened was when they put these on the LOIs, with that fast spool down low and adding more fuel to match the air that's coming in down low, that actually raised cylinder pressures, and that's why LOIs started bending rods, where LB7s didn't do it as much. Obviously, in the LBZs, they went to a stronger rod, so it wasn't so much of an issue, but I think VGTs are part of the reason why LOIs are known to bend rods, just because they're a little bit weaker rod. But with the fixed turbo, the LB7, it really kept that cylinder pressure down in the lower range until the motor was really spinning up and everything. Some other benefits to VGT turbos are the exhaust braking or engine braking, where you can actually close the vanes, slow down the motor, kind of do all that stuff. I think that's how it works. And the other thing with these is they have a much larger exhaust housing. Now, it's going to be kind of hard to show you because I only got two hands, but these are normally much larger exhaust housings, so when they open up, they prevent overspeed of the turbo. So that's something that can happen in fixed chargers. So that's why they have to be wastegated normally, or blow off valve in some application. But I will show you that real quick. So this is a 0.91, I believe. Yeah, 0.91 exhaust housing off a 366 turbo that I had laying around. And as you can see, significantly smaller. That's kind of part of the pedestal and all that stuff too, but just they're a little bit wider, but generally a little bit smaller. So with this, same kind of concept. You have air that comes in, spins the turbine wheel, and then it goes out. So this would be where your center section sits, and your wheel would be right in here. But you can see this one was broken, and it got all chewed up because the shaft broke. But that's basically where your wheel would sit, right in this groove, kind of right up against here. So same concept. It's exhaust is coming through, pushing the wheel, and then going out. And with that, part of this, it's mostly wastegate control to prevent overspeeds, like I said before. I don't feel like holding that for the whole time. One of the big things is fixed chargers are efficient in certain driving scenarios. So more of like a constant driving scenario. So if you're drag racing and you're constantly like up building boost and like staying in full throttle, they're great. They're super good. Love my Danville VGT65 on my Alamo. Danville does make great chargers. Ryan's Diesel Service killing the game with chargers too. VGTs are definitely good for your daily driver. That's what I'm getting into right now is that the drivability of a VGT charger allows you to have quick spool off the line, have, you know, good peak power at the top end. You can tow, you can do all this stuff, and everything is just great. Except they're kind of limited on boost, and I mean, there's good VGTs out there putting down some serious power, but I still feel like they're limited, and you still have the moving parts where it's just too much going on, and it's way over complicated, but you get the drivability of it. So with the fixed housing chargers, so like this one for S366, I think, or 369, one of the two, I don't know, it was given to me. You kind of lose that down low drivability, so you have usually more turbo lag because it takes a little bit faster to spool up because you have the same housing size the whole time. So I'm just trying to read comments as they're coming in, make sure I don't miss anything. But so obviously a bigger charger, more lag. Now there is a million different combinations and a million different styles of chargers, turbos, everything, sizes, combinations, whatever you can think of. Your fuel, your torque converter stall, if you're running an automatic, is going to be a huge part in the drivability of a fixed range charger. S480 over the 65 soon. We're gonna get to that, and actually turbo sizes on that too. I think that'll be a really good setup. But you kind of lose that low end drivability with these. Like I said, kind of laggy, kind of smoky on stock stall converter trucks, but in a racing application where you got a 3K stall and you can hit the line and just build boost and then take off, it's awesome. It's such a good setup. I definitely think fixed chargers are the simplest setting. You just got air in, air out, nothing moving, nothing crazy like that. I'm not super familiar with the fixed turbo world besides having an LB7 and kind of all that good stuff. This turbo is supposed to get rebuilt. I don't know if it's going to. I might just buy a new one because the rebuild kits for these are outrageously expensive. I would like to big single one of my trucks eventually. But that leads us into kind of compound turbo setups, and that's not to be confused with twin turbo setups. I know everyone says twin turbo. I say twin turbo. It's two turbos, but they're not true twins. And basically, your twin turbo setup would be two identical turbos in parallel that are run off basically one bank each of the exhaust. So you got your drivers, your passenger side. One turbo would be run off one side, one off the other. Your compound setup is going to be an in-series setup for your truck. So you're still going to have all your exhaust going to your smaller high-pressure turbocharger, and then it's going to come out of that one and go into your low-pressure, larger turbocharger. So like my truck, for instance, I don't have my turbo kit in here because I don't even have the truck here. But what that does is it creates it kind of eliminates so much lag. Kind of eliminates so much lag in the low end, but still allows you to have pressure on the high end. So with that is the food. We got food coming, so so like in a over S475 over stock application, my dog's probably gonna freak out here in a minute too, by the way. But in a like my truck, for instance, S475 over stock, you still have pretty much the drivability of a VGT. I'd say it's a little bit more laggy than my VGT was by itself, but it also it's still up there. It's still very good, and you have the top end of the VGT or the second turbo really pushing some air down. Sticky vanes in my stock VGT swap to S3. Never look back. See, that's good. That's good. And I think for that, like a S366 would be a really good like stock application. Well, maybe not stock, but like a tune. Obviously, you need a tune for it, but it's not a huge turbo. We're going to lose so much drivability. Like I said, I have no personal experience with that. I want to, but I really don't. So I did some reading today, and the best way I can describe a compound turbo setup is basically like if you had a 4-inch water pipe going into a 2-inch water pipe and the water was just flowing through the 4-inch, but it got to the 2-inch, it's immediately going to, get restricted and kind of get like forced through if it's a steady stream. It's kind of the same concept where now you're just pushing the water a lot harder behind it. So now you have pressure coming in, and then you're really sending the water through the smaller part, which is your intercooler pipes, your small turbo, all that stuff. So it's just kind of like a added pressure to feed the stock charger. So that's kind of all I got for compounds. I love mine. We can talk about mine for a little bit. I love them. I've had very good luck with them. I have probably 15,000 miles on them on an Allison, a built Allison, and now a ZF6 on 38s. As you guys might have seen at the truck show we hosted a while back, it put down 630, 1286 on a stock block. I don't think I have any bent rods yet, so still rolling pretty strong. It's definitely a good setup, but I know a lot of people are like big single for racing or all that stuff. But I think if you guys really want to crank some power out and have a good drivability and good, especially if you're up in altitude or anything, a twin setup or a compound setup is really going to be the best way to go. So I'd like to leave you guys a few minutes. If you want to write some questions in the comments, I'd be love to answer. But basically, that's pretty much all that I have for today. I do have a few things coming in. We're releasing a new product soon, which I think some of you guys will like, especially rolling into wintertime. It's going to be great for you guys. Also, I will be out of the Marine Corps, like I said earlier, in about 88 days. So I'm going to be driving across the country again. So hopefully be able to do some meetups along the way and kind of check in, maybe hit up some spots and meet up with you guys, all that stuff. Also, I am going to be building a new truck soon. I actually already purchased it. I'm just waiting on some pictures before I release it and everything. What do you think is best for towing? So we'll get to the new truck later. It's not new; it's new to me, but just stay tuned for that because it's gonna be good stuff. For towing, I towed with my compound setup I towed my RV with it and was absolutely in love. Didn't even know it was there. Plenty of power, great spool, didn't have any drivability issues. Now, if you're talking big single VGT, if you get into the 68, 72 VGT range, you're going to lose some of that low-end spool because it's still such a large charger that you're going to end up having to have bigger injectors or anything like that just to keep that spool up. But if you're talking big single as like a big fixed vane single, you're really going to lose some of that low end drivability, and it's really not going to be the best suited thing for you. I would stay away from the large singles fixed vane, or I shouldn't say fixed vane, fixed geometry. big singles if you're going to be doing a lot of towing. So in that application, I'd say twins. I had really good luck towing with my twins or compounds, and I think it's fantastic. So that's my little bit of input. A lot of guys I know that do a lot of towing run compounds, so it's definitely seemed to be a tried and true situation. Now, real quick, I wanted to go back to DM23. A lot of people, oh Jesus, a lot of people say, sorry, I'm on like a rickety table. I need a better setup. If we're gonna keep doing this every week, we're gonna get a better setup, probably a better mic, all that stuff. But we'll get there. Anywho, a lot of people told me about a year later, after I got my S475 over stock, that the S475 wasn't going to be enough and to go S480. So I think you're making the right choice with the S480. Over a 65 that's already built is going to be pretty gnarly. So hopefully you got some fuel and enough supporting mods to support that. But you're basically going to be – everyone told me that with the S475, you're going to be running out of air pretty quick. And I think I kind of see that now because it fully doesn't clear up all the time. Sometimes it stays a little smoky. Like when we were doing the dyno pull, and you can tell it just doesn't fully clean up like it should. I feel like it's a little like I'm just maxing out, and I run about 60 to 65 pounds of boost. So that's still up there. It's still plenty of power. Like totally happy. If I went any bigger, my motor probably wouldn't stay together. It is an LOI. You know, everyone hates LOIs, but mine has been more than good to me. But I think an S480 over stock or an S480 over another slightly bigger Valley charger is really going to be your peak performance for stock fuel system, maybe some minor upgrades like 60 overs or something like that. But then you're pushing the limit of your actual like motor, you know, like you're running into that 600-700 horsepower range at that point. So just be careful with how you drive, and how you drive, it's a huge thing. If you're doing boosted launches and matting it everywhere you go, you're probably going to break something. If you drive it reasonably and roll into the boost and don't stay at full throttle for up to 150 miles per hour, you're probably going to be all right. So it's all kind of in how you drive and how nice you are to your truck. So that's why I think I've been lucky enough to get away with it for as long as I have. But as far as that goes, that kind of covers it. But going into also another compound situation is running 2 fixed chargers in a compound setup. 06 LBC EGR delete. What brand would you recommend? I recommend just let it go. I recommend going with a true Y-bridge delete, like even the new SDP's 2-piece Y-bridges with a LB7 up pipe or a welded shut up pipe. That's the true EGR delete. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's a little bit more, a little bit more work to install. But you're really gonna get the best performance, the best everything out of it. It's gonna be the best fit. I have only ran SDP products, so I'm kind of biased towards them. I know HSP makes a good product. I haven't had any luck with or any info or any experience with WC Fab except for that LBZ I'm building right now. And so far, that's still the single Y bridge. So I put that in, and so far everything seems to fit good. I haven't had any fitment issues or anything like that. But it's still, we're not done with that truck yet. So I personally don't really have any experience. I love my SDP twins on my truck, but I know Rustbelt and Truckmaster are doing some HSP stuff soon. So look forward to seeing how all that stuff works for them. I know Truckmaster ran WC Fab stuff for a long time, and he was really happy with it. But I think those 3 companies are probably going to be your best bet. I had really good luck with Sky SDP, so that's kind of going to be my pick for all that stuff. What else we got here? So that was the EGR delete. You should just do it the right way. Just don't cheap out on it and go eBay special. I mean, they work. The eBay ones do. You can put a blocker plate on or LB7 up pipe and just block your EGR valve. But the problem with that is if you leave the EGR valve in, don't block it with a plate, and then you block it with Sorry, my dog's kind of in my face. If you don't block it at the, how am I trying to say this? So if you block the plate, you can blow your up pipe. If you don't block it, you can actually blow the EGR valve open, and then you're still getting exhaust recirculation, kind of in a sense. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. So just do it right. Get rid of all that junk, and then you'll just have the best results possible. So what else do we got here? Can we do a talking dirty sometime? Injectors, good brands, how much oversized for how much mods? Yes. Any suggestions for more live streams I will be writing down. I got a list already, so I kind of do research each week, and then we're going to talk about it. Probably keep it on Monday nights because it's, Monday sucks, so why not, hang out and talk about things after work. Hopefully this is a good time. If any of you guys missed it or anything, let me know and we can adjust. Aaron, yes, I will marry you. But you gotta take care of me, okay? And fund my truck need. Duramax is number one, that's for sure. What would be the highest EGT for an LML? EGTs really depend on application. So it's what you're running, tunes, everything. I used to run, I had a 1500 degree EGT gauge, and I used to peg that thing out on a single charger and stock manifolds. I put the compound turbos on my truck with PPE manifolds and uppipes and the whole 3-inch intercooler pipes and everything. And I rarely see above 1200 degrees on my hottest tune. So it's kind of depends on the application. Your single chargers, your VGTs are going to be a little bit hotter. I have a GMC Canyon, love the truck. Is that one of the Duramax ones? I know SDP is making a compound turbo kit for those. That would be badass to see. Is 5-inch exhaust too big on a stock turbo? No. Basically, when you turbocharge something, it creates all its own back pressure. Yeah, downpipes kind of have something to do with it a little bit, but basically after that, it can be straight pipe as big as you want. So I have run 5-inch on all my trucks, and real quick, just on that, I know it's we're branching off to different directions here, but stock exhaust on a Duramax is 3.5-inch. So if you buy a 4-inch straight pipe, all you're doing is basically cutting the muffler and the cat out if you have one. So I lean more towards the 5-inch exhaust, and I think they sound better. I think they, it's the real bang for your buck, because if you're going to run 4, I'd just cut the muffler and the cat out and call it a day. Let's see where we're at. But I don't think 5-inch is too big. It's going to sound good. I have a 5-inch on my stock LOI right now, on the stock charger, stock intake, stock everything. HSP on my LML. Love it. Looks great. Works great. Yeah. So HSP is a great company. I know my buddy Trev Cat on Instagram, he has HSP on both his trucks, and they're phenomenal. And he put down 1,200 horse in his truck. So definitely a good company. GMC Canyon Denali Duramax. That's badass. I would love to see one of those compound turbo Canyon, Colorados, wherever they are. This is adjusting your steering box. So you're probably talking about Pixelayer. You're talking about the video I did of adjusting the steering box. It has worked on my truck. I still think that's the factory steering box. It's got 200,000 miles on it. It can still wear out. It's not the permanent fix, but it definitely works. So if you watch that video, it'll kind of give you some insight on it. But it did work. It's still tight and everything. So blade count on the fixed vane, maybe another topic. I could definitely do that, but I don't have enough info right now. I didn't look into blade counts, or I know there's 5 blades. I know there's, everyone's like 5-blade mafia for the power strokes and all that stuff. So definitely would be something else to talk about. Let's see what else we got. I hit 1422 degrees Fahrenheit, towing 11,000 pounds, trailer up a steep hill. That's pretty good. 1422 is not bad. You don't want to stay there for long, but basically anything over like 15 and staying there for more than a few seconds, like enough to make a drag pull or something, like your 10 to 12 second mark, you're not really going to want to be there. 32, 50, 22. I don't know what that size computes to, Pig Slayer, but are you getting thank you for saying excellent channel. And yes, I would like to get 44s. They're a lot of money. They're not cheap. So definitely don't. I do want to get them soon. I do like those tires, and I probably will run them. But the 44s by 21s are like $800 a piece. So I think I'm going to build another truck first and let my tires wear out on the truck now before I go buying new tires when I have good 38s on it still. But I can definitely clear them, and I definitely will. Is there any cleaning the intake valves on an LOY? Now, do you mean intake as in like the intake valves in the cylinder head? I guess that would be the only thing, or like the EGR intake part valves. Please clarify. I have a Cali emissions LB7 with EGR. So what do you think is the best way to delete on those? So the problem with the Cali LB7 EGRs, no one makes a kit for them because they were never really a thing except for in Cali. So the turbos are actually different on Cali emission LB7s. The heads are actually different on Cali emission LB7s. So you're kind of screwed. I actually just took metal plates and blocked off the exhaust and the intake side of the EGR port and ripped that whole thing out completely. So that I just made my own. I just took flat plates and gaskets, cleaned them up, smoothed them out, drilled holes, and bolted them back up. If you want to pull my LOY turbo apart, I'm taking it off this weekend to give more room to break my injectors off on my blown head gasket side. I actually have another, well, I don't know. If you're not local to me, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make sense for you to send your turbo out to me. I appreciate that, though. So thanks for the info. Of course, love doing this for you guys. WC Fab for you, LB7. Yeah, definitely a good kit. Once you build the solid axle, it's very. Yeah, the solid axle is super fun, and we're going to be doing something similar to that soon. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned. This build is going to be way different than what is normally on the channel and what you guys probably have seen before, but it's going to be cool. What's the first thing you would do to a stock LBZ? I would sell it because I don't like LBZs. No, I'm just kidding. Any stock truck, you know, intake, exhaust, EGR delete, and we'll get into this. This is going on too long, so I'm gonna read these last few and kind of end this off. But I am gonna be doing a kind of like a budget build upgrades video soon. So kind of your first steps, your budget builds, kind of stuff like that. So we will get into that. So I don't want to ramble on for way too long. This video is already 33 minutes. So I will answer that at a later date. Really, wow, I never knew that. Great time for some custom tab work. Yes, yeah, you're going to have to do some custom stuff for an EGR delete on an LB7. Intake valves in the head, EGR is deleted. Besides disassembly, there's really not much cleaning to do. Travis, if you hit me up on Instagram, I will gladly, we'll talk about things, Duramax_diesel. But anyways, guys, I have been rambling for quite long enough. Thank you all for who have stayed here and enjoyed this. I hope you guys got some info out of it, some good ideas. If I missed anything or if there's anything that you guys wanted to, you know, talk about or any of that stuff, just let me know. Throw it in my inbox on Instagram. I always answer everyone. So if you guys have topics for these live streams, or I'm going to keep trying to do this every single Monday that I can, or that I'm around or I have free time. So I will pick a topic, I will post about it on my Instagram, and then I will make a live stream about it probably Monday nights because, like I said, Mondays suck. So let's hang out and have a good time and just kind of talk about things probably around the same time. So that's going to do it. Sorry we went so off on a tangent there, but I appreciate all you guys, and catch you later.